What's goody to any and everybody who may be listening? Okay. Let's go ahead and talk about this trip to the North Carolina State Fair, which occurred in about the year 2002. I'm going to say 2001 or 2002. I was living in that neighborhood, Green Spring Valley. And you never guess who I went to the fair with, which otherwise I would not have ever went to the fair with this individual. There was something going on, something suspicious happening at this time, which I'm, of course, going to be getting into. Okay? Now, again, Shrimp Paul Boy, aka Dantes Leon Hinton, and I did not have a good relationship at all. This individual was abusive. He just had this energy with him that you could feel the energy, you could feel that negativity, you could feel it steaming off of him. And that I sort of picked up that gift. Now, for me, it's a gift. Because, bitch, when I don't want to be bothered or something like that, it just stings off me. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers know to stay out my way. I'm not going to say I got it from him. I think that's part of just me. That's me in general. But one of the things about him is that he knows how to have that energy steaming off him. Okay? And I used to always feel that coming from him. There was like a brick wall between him and I. Okay? So whenever we would be left alone, I would be feeling that energy. Whenever he would have to take me somewhere in the car and it would just be me and him, I would feel that energy. Whenever he would wake up in the morning, I could feel that energy. And things of this nature. So it was surprising to me to go to the fair with him that year. You know what I'm saying? I was in like the 9th or 10th grade at that time. Well, no, maybe the 11th, because I had started going to Garner. I was going to Garner High School at this time, and at this time, again, I had dropped all of my feminine features. The feminine parts of my personality were dropping away or had already dropped away. And, you know, I really thought I was doing something, too, because I was rolling with the big dogs to the fair and things of this nature, from you know, Quarry Street and things of this nature in Raleigh, North Carolina. So, let's get into a little bit more. We took 2 separate cars. So, I did not ride with Pole Boy, Shrimp Pole Boy on that day. I rode with an individual by the name of Kilo. Now, this is where I'm going to get into the story about Kilo and myself, who I did. This was a crush. Like, I developed a crush and a longing sort of for Kilo after that ride, though. It was only after that ride that I developed that crush for him. And I don't know why I really got it, but I got it. I developed it. And I was talking about it and things of this nature with Sharita, with Esmeralda. Okay. Knowing what I know now, ain't no telling what she went and was talking about and things of this nature. But anyway, so I get into the car. It was just me and Kilo up in that car. There was like 6 blunts rolled, you know, that good dro, that good hydro, being passed between myself and Kilo. He made sure to light them blunts and pass them back and forth. I gotta go ahead and get my energy back for that. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within the midst of that ride, that got lost within the midst of that ride, and or stolen by Kilo. In the midst of that ride to the fair that day where we had them blunts passing back and forth, and I was very young and impressionable, and my sacral was on fire, are released, removed, freed, and brought on home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay? So, I mean, we get to the fair, you know what I'm saying? It's cool or whatever. I'm again with all the big dogs from Quarry Street, you know what I'm saying? I thought I was doing something at that time because at that time I was not as solo dolo as I am now. Okay. I actually did need to be around people. I also did notice, like it was around this time that I started to notice that I could not be alone. Whenever I would be around people, right? Whenever they would leave, I would get the feeling this emptiness at that time, and I wasn't really, I didn't know where that was coming from, but of course, as I grew, and now looking back, of course, that was because all of this shit was trying to come up, was trying to come to the surface, and I needed them distractions from these people that was all around me. Anyway, okay. So after this day that we went to the fair and I was with Kilo up in that car, I did develop an attraction to him. I gotta say that he was not that cute, but he was cute. He was a little, you know what I'm saying, hood boy, thugged out, very, very much so. Um, he did have a missing tooth, but I didn't care about that. I didn't mind that. He had a missing tooth, but he kept the gold tooth right there where that missing tooth was at. But I didn't really mind it anyway because sort of like his cuteness made up for it. He was sort of thick, and I like thick boys a little bit. I'm not talking about fat. I'm talking about thick. Thick and stocky. Thick and stocky bills is what I like, but I don't. I really don't. It don't matter. I like the heart, not the body. Anyway, so after a while, like I kept seeing Kilo. I got to seeing Kilo. He would come by the house, and I would be like, "Oh my god!" And you know what I'm saying? Like I got to get my light sparks back from that. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got lost, caught up and stolen by Kilo or any third party, when he would be coming over to the house down in Ghana to that trailer, and I would see him and I guess you could say be lusting, cause I ain't the type that was lust. Any and all of my energy, light sparks, and soul fragments that got caught up within that lust for Kilo are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Okay. So now we gotta talk about it because word around town, baby. Word around town was that he was into the girls. Word around town was that he was into the T-girls, the trans girls, and even the films, the feminine gay men. That was the word around town. The word around, I kept hearing it. Like, I won't asking about them, but that was things that were talked about before I even developed the crush. Anyway, so, baby, I gotta tell you that one day I got up enough guts to go on around there. Now, I gotta tell you that I'm not the type to shoot my shot. I'm not the type to go up to anybody and approach anybody. I'm way too shy. I'm way too reserved for that. And even if I get approached, I'm still very shy, withdrawn, nervous, and things of this nature. And I'll run before I say anything. So this was shocking to me that I did this. It took a lot of guts and nerve for me to get up and actually do this. So we were staying around yonder down at Deborah Ann's house at this time. Deborah Ann is Shrimp Po' Boy's mother, because of course Sharita was negligent of bills and things of this nature. She didn't pay bills, and she didn't. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So I got up the nerve and the gut to go around there to Martin Street, where I saw Kilo. Oh my God, baby, my heart was beating so fast. But I gotta tell you that I decided to shoot my shot. Okay. At this time though, I could see why I definitely got turned down. I was crushed. Okay. But I could honestly see why. Because I feel like at that time I was not being true to myself. I was not being authentic. I was stuck on trying to be this masculine boy when I was not. That's not who I was. That's not who I am at all. Okay. And I feel like that's what it was. Aside from this being a spiritual attack, anyway, because he was into the trans girls and he was into the feminine boys, and I was not that at that time. But it was fake. Anyway, I gotta call my light sparks back from that because I was hurt. I was hurt. I ain't gonna lie, and it took a lot of gut and nerve for me to do that. And the way he reacted, it was ooh. I decree and declare that any and all of my energy, like sparks and soul fragments that got caught up within the midst of that rejection that I experienced by Kilo after developing that crush on him, after that ride to the fair, after being in the car with him in that fair, during the ride to that fair that day with Dante, Shrimp Po Boy, and everybody else, are released, removed, freed, and brought on back home to the mother, the father, and the child. Now I do believe that's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.